The Jake Asman Show will begin shortly. Thanks to all these great Patreon members who help support the show. Get your super chats ready. Jake will be here in just a moment. If you love the New York Jets, this is the place to be. And now, the Jake Asman Show.
Happy Saturday. Last night was not a dream for all the Knicks fans out there. We'll talk about that, plus some interesting comments from Adam Schefter on why the NFL scheduled the Jets the way they did. We'll get into all that. It's a Saturday Jake Asman Show. Let's hit it and get it started.
Man, our Jets are primed to win another offseason, baby. We bleed Jets green each and every day. Will the playoff drought finally end? Kings of the offseason, baby. This is what we do. At least we have Garrett Wilson. We have Breece Hall. Please subscribe and hit the like button below. Super chat, baby. Cut the line. We have Sauce Gardner. We have Quinn Williams. Prepare to be underdogs. Now it's time to talk all things New York Jets. It's the Jake Asman Show.
Here we go, here on a Saturday. I wasn't going to do a show today because I was out very late last night celebrating that Knicks win. In fact, some of the videos that I posted on my Twitter account, my X account last night, you guys have probably seen them on ESPN, Bleacher Report, House of Highlights. These are my videos. The Mitchell Robinson leaving, MSG and the fans going crazy as he's riding off with his pickup truck. That was mine. The video of Spike Lee leaving, being serenaded like he's the Pope. That was mine. And everyone had the video last night of all the craziness on either 7th or 8th Avenue of people climbing up street signs and taxi booths and poles. It was truly an unbelievable night for the New York Knicks and their loyal, diehard, passionate fan base. And hopefully the Jets will one day be able to turn things around like the Knicks have, because it has been certainly a long time coming for all the Knicks fans, and certainly the Jet fan base has been waiting for a very, very long time. I will talk more about the Knicks coming up, but I want to start with some Jet news. Before that, though, this is the final show that you have a chance to enter the raffle. I wasn't going to do a show today, but I'm too excited to not put some sort of content on the channel. So you still have a chance. Monday, we're giving away a signed Jalen Brunson jersey. We also are going to be giving away a signed Aaron Glenn jersey and a signed Curtis Martin jersey. And last but certainly not least, a signed CJ Mosley jersey. So for this show, got to be fair to everyone yesterday. For this show, we will boost memberships +5 as we did for everyone yesterday who tuned in. But this is truly the last show that you have to enter in one of the cooler raffles we've done featuring the Jalen Brunson jersey. So more on the Knicks in a moment, but we start with some football talk, shall we? Adam Schefter on his own podcast was breaking down the NFL schedule, and when it came time to discuss the Jets, Adam Schefter said that the NFL is sending a message to the New York Jets with their schedule.
Well, the first game of the season is against the Pittsburgh Steelers. So when we look at the New York Jets, what better opportunity for Justin Fields in week 1 than to go up against the team that at one point benched him last season for Russell Wilson. Now, Pittsburgh wanted him back at one point after they tried to trade for Matthew Stafford and then went to Justin Fields to re-sign him. But at that point, I think he had mentally moved on, got the deal from the New York Jets, a team that paid him, and now Justin Fields does not have to wait long before he gets a chance to go up against his former team. It could be Justin Fields versus Aaron Rodgers, Justin Fields versus his former team, Aaron Rodgers versus his former team. The NFL certainly knows how to schedule those games. And the Jets are amazing because last year with Aaron Rodgers, 6 primetime games. This year, 2 primetime games. So the league is telling us, don't believe that much in the Jets. Understandably right now, we'll see how it goes with the new first-year head coach in Aaron Glenn, new GM Darren Muji, and essentially a new remade roster.
Look, I think our first reaction is maybe to say, what? How dare Schefter say that the NFL thinks we're going to be bad? But let's call a spade a spade. That's the reality for the Jets right now, till proven otherwise. Now, I don't think the Jets are as bad as some have projected them to be like picking number 1 in the draft in some early mocks for next year. I don't think they're that bad. I'd be the first to tell you I don't think they're the 30th best team in the NFL like ESPN had them in their power rankings. But until proven otherwise, this is a football team that only won 5 games last year, has a first-year head coach, first-year offensive play caller, and a major question mark at quarterback. While Justin Fields is talented, we don't know what he is. We might know already what he is, which is probably more of a backup than a starter, but we can't definitively say that. And this is probably Fields' last opportunity, to go into a season as like the unquestioned guy without any competition, right? But ultimately, I think Schefter's right. I think the NFL did send a message to the Jets. They only gave them 2 primetime games. Now, they are playing in London, but that's different. A London game is not technically primetime. It's standalone. But all eyes will be on the Jets when they play the Denver Broncos. But, you look at the primetime games and notice which games were primetime. They went with division opponents, which is safe for the league to do because there's history of Jets-Pats, and obviously before that, early on in the year, Week 4, Jets-Dolphins on Monday night. And that game is not even a true primetime game in the sense that there's another game that night, too. It's a doubleheader. There's 2 games on that night. So the NFL didn't even want to put the Jets in a spot where they're in primetime all by themselves. They're in primetime with another game going on at the same time. So less total attention. So I think our first reaction is to say, what? How dare the... But can you blame them? Aaron Rodgers gets you primetime games. We knew this. The Jets themselves have not earned primetime games. If we want primetime games, you have to earn that by winning games, something that the Jets have not done in a very, very long time. Haven't won more than 7 in a decade. Forget the playoff drought, right? So, yeah, the NFL doesn't expect the Jets to be very good. I think that's fair. I can't sit here and be outraged over that. I didn't expect the Jets to get a lot of primetime games. I will say this, and the head of the NFL schedule, like the guy who actually has the say on where games are played and who they play and when they play and all that, came out and said that if Rodgers had already signed with the Steelers by now, yeah, they would have had that game probably in primetime. That game would have likely been a Sunday night or a Monday night. And basically because they're concerned, hey, what if Rodgers does retire? We can't put that in primetime, but we'll still put it week 1. Right? We'll give people a nice juicy storyline for the 1 o'clock games. That will be probably the biggest 1 p.m. game. But if Rodgers had already signed with the Steelers, yeah, the Jets would have been in primetime for that 1 game. Then maybe they get 3 total primetime games. But ultimately, I think you look at it from a objective standpoint, why would the NFL expect the Jets to be good? They were burnt in 2023 with all the primetime games, and then it's no one's fault, but Rodgers got hurt on the 4th play of the season. Last year, I think we all thought at worst the Jets were going to be a 9-win football team, right? They won 7 the previous year. There's no way they could be worse, and they were. So until we see this team show us, I understand the NFL not wanting to give the Jets a bunch of primetime games just because they play in the biggest, media market in the world. Like that, it's not good enough. Football doesn't necessarily need the Jets to be good to be the most popular sport in the United States. They don't. The best example I could give you is if I say to you, hey, you want to watch the Brewers play the Pirates in Major League Baseball on a Monday night? Unless you're a fan of those teams, you're going to say no. Now I tell you, hey, the Packers are playing the Steelers Monday Night Football. You want to go out and watch it? Your answer is going to be, yeah, what a matchup. That's Green Bay, Wisconsin. Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. You don't need the media markets. The best player in the NFL plays in Kansas City. So, yeah, the NFL doesn't need the Jets to be good. They haven't been good in a long time. Now, do they think the Jets are going to suck? I mean, look, I think the NFL, when they make the schedule, they evaluate matchups. They evaluate storylines. And one of the storylines was certainly Rodgers against his old team. But since he's not technically on the Steelers yet, they didn't want to take the risk of putting that in primetime. And to answer a question I know someone's going to have in the comments, you can't flex that early in the year. So if the NFL says Rodgers and the Jets, Monday Night Football, and then Rodgers retires, and it's Mason Rudolph versus Justin Fields, you can't flex out of that. So, look, if the Jets are relevant late, they'll get primetime games. It'll be flexed. But until then, I think it's better for the Jets to fly under the radar as much as you can in New York, because it's hard to do that. So, does the NFL think the Jets are going to be bad? I mean, probably, but can you blame them? I can't. A lot of Jet fans don't think this team's going to be very good. I got asked today by someone who's a big Jet fan, how many wins? And I said, probably between 4 and 6 right now. And then this person said, well, Justin Fields, I think he could be really good. I go, yeah, he could be, but woulda, coulda, shoulda. We got to see it. And that's really the big thing. We got to see it. But ultimately, I think there's nothing wrong with the Jets only having 2 primetime games. And I think if you're a Jet season ticket holder, you deserve 1 o'clock games. You got robbed last year of 1 p.m. games. It was criminal what they did to the Jet season ticket holder last year. You had a 1 p.m. game against Denver in September. And then after that, there was not a 1 p.m. game at home for the Jets until December 1st, I believe, against the Seattle Seahawks that day. Think about that. When it's actually nice in September and October, before the weather gets bad, there were 0 1 p.m. kickoff games besides that Denver game. And unfortunately, you can't blame the NFL for this. Unfortunately, the weather that day was probably the one of the most miserable days of the year for anyone who was at that game. It never stopped raining. It was supposed to before kickoff, and it never did. That was it, right? The home opener, as great as that night was, and the weather was perfect, it was prime time. Not everyone can go to a Thursday night game with young kids. Texans game on Halloween. I mean, you have kids, you want to take them trick-or-treating, it's a weeknight. So I think the season ticket holder, and a lot of them didn't renew their tickets, can't blame them after how bad it's been. But the ones who did, I think they like the 1 o'clock games. So I don't think there's anything wrong with the Jets schedule. And if the NFL thinks they're going to be bad, fine. That's on the Jets and Aaron Glenn. Prove them wrong, right? If you're a Jet fan who doesn't like everyone thinking the team's going to be bad, then, have that mentality AG's trying to bring to this team.
We're the freaking New York Jets, so we're built for this shit.
Let's see it, right? The Knicks were a joke. They were a laughingstock. And now they're 4 wins away from the NBA Finals, baby. Let's go. Let me get to the Knicks now before we get to your calls here. It's not going to be a super long show. If you missed it, I wasn't planning on doing one today. I'm doing 4 hours of radio tomorrow on Mad Dog Sports Radio on Sirius XM, Channel 82 from 12 p.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern. And I was out super late last night celebrating that Knick win. So I was like, I'm just going to not do a show in May. But I got back from a birthday party I was at during the day. Weather's beautiful. And I said, I got to talk about the Knicks. All right, I'm out on the air today. I need to talk about the Knicks on the channel. And being in the Garden last night was truly a surreal experience for me as a sports fan. The Knicks in my lifetime have never actually had a real path to winning a championship. The best team before this year in my lifetime as a Knicks fan was in 2013, the 54-win Carmelo team that ultimately lost in 6 games to the Pacers. And I want revenge. We'll get to Indiana, but I want revenge for that series in this matchup here. Last year was great, but you knew the Knicks were not going to be able to win a championship given the amount of injuries they had. It wasn't possible. It was a great run. But last night was the culmination of what the Knicks have been building since they hired Leon Rose and Tom Thibodeau. The last couple of years, the New York Knicks went out there and they made the playoffs for the last 5 years. The last 3 they won around. But they made the moves this past offseason, right? Trading for Cat, trading for Mikal Bridges to get to a conference finals, to take the next step. That's what it was all about. And for the Knicks to beat Boston, and let's not have revisionist history. Boston went into the series minus 1,000 to win. The Knicks were a historic underdog for a second-round matchup. You see lines like that for an 8 seed taking on the 1 seed in the opening round. The way the Knicks were covered, it was they have no chance. Not a soul picked them. No one. Unless you're a Knicks fan, you didn't pick them. And a lot of Knicks fans weren't picking them. And you can't blame anyone for feeling that way. I thought the Knicks were not going to win the series. But the way that it changed so quickly, where it went from the Knicks don't have a chance to now they have to win the series, right? Tatum gets hurt, which, by the way, any Celtic fan using that as an excuse, shame on you. No one gave the Knicks a break when their entire team was hurt last year against Indiana. And look, you hate seeing Tatum suffer that gruesome of an injury, but let's say it was just a regular injury that would cost him a week or two. Bottom line is, the Knicks were up 3-1 with Tatum playing. Tatum got hurt with 2 minutes left with the Knicks up 9. Knicks were better. And last night encapsulated that. It was the Knicks finally showing what they could do when it all clicks. And that experience last night, being in that building, it was a party. Everything the Knicks have been building for was on the line last night. You couldn't let it get to a Game 7. You played poorly in Game 5. Brunson with the foul issues, Cat being awful, Bridges and OG a combined 5 of 26. And then on the other side, just Derek White didn't miss. Luke Cornett turned into Hakeem Olajuwon. It just wasn't the Knicks' night. And the Knicks knew they were coming home last night with an opportunity to defeat the defending champs and put them away. And they came out last night, and the way the Knicks started the game defensively, that's what won them the game. They did not let Derek White go off. Jaylen Brown was the only true scorer they had. They made sure Cornette wasn't going to do what he did in Game 5. Pritchard was off last night. A lot of the things Boston needed to win Game 5, I didn't think was sustainable for Game 6. And while I thought it would be a real close game, because that's what the Knicks have done, right? The Knicks don't blow anyone out. Every game they've won in the playoffs has been dramatic. That's why they're called the Cardiac Knicks. But the Knicks played a dominant game. Their best of the playoffs by far. Defensively, they were great. Cat setting the tone early, being aggressive, not letting the BS three-pointer he hit that they overturned where he was fouled and they called the offensive foul on him, not letting that impact his mentality. What Josh Hart brings to the table. What Mitchell Robinson brings to the table, man. I'm so happy for that guy. Guy was on teams that were winning 17 games, dealing with injuries, subject of trade rumors. And that play that Mitch defended all 5 Boston Celtics, came up with the steal on Brown, then passed to Hart, who went down the lane and finished with an N1. That was one of the loudest crowd pops I've ever heard. Just an unbelievable performance by everyone last night. And it was just a party, man. The game was never in doubt. That's what shocked me. There was never that run by the Celtics that made you thought, okay, hey, we got to wake up here. We got to tighten up. It's not over yet. With 5 minutes to go in the second quarter, Boston called timeout. I looked at the scoreboard, and Jalen Brunson had 4 points. And the Knicks were up 20. And I said, this can't be real. It was an out-of-body experience. How are the Knicks up 20 with the best player on the floor? He only has 4 points in the first half. And then Brunson scores like 8 points before halftime. The Knicks were up 27 at the half, and you're thinking, there's just no way it's going to be this easy. No way. And then guess what? They came out in the third quarter and continued to kick their ass. It was unreal. It was like the Jet playoff win against the Colts, 41-0. You know, in my lifetime rooting for my teams, we don't get wins like that. And the Knicks, in the biggest game played at the Garden this century, seriously, that's not hyperbole. Knicks haven't clinched a series at home since 1999. Haven't been to the conference finals since 2000. And it was just a party from that point on. The game was never in doubt. The victory cigar for the Knicks was PJ Tucker coming in off the bench because the crowd's chanting for him. Truly an unbelievable experience, an out-of-body experience being there. It was never a doubt. They dominated, man. Dominated. I mean, 119-81. It could have been worse if the Knicks won it. I mean, Jaylen Brown fouled out in the third quarter. You knew it was over. It was already over before then, but it was really over then. A stunning, dominating performance by the Knicks. What else can you say? I mean, wow. Just unreal, man. And the Knicks have been building for this and knocking on that door And they finally broke through. And it started with Leon Rose and Tom Thibodeau. They have built it the right way. This team is mentally tough. They don't let the outside noise affect them. And they continue to prove all the doubters wrong. And now, this is the best chance the Knicks have had legitimately to win a championship since 94. I know they made the finals in 99, but they were not going to beat that Spurs team. That was the start of a dynasty, as we all know. They were an 8 seed that got there. Great run. This is the Knicks' best chance at it, man. They're 4 wins from the finals, 8 from a title. And let's be real. They're a favorite against Indiana. I don't think it's going to be easy. I think Indiana is really good. I think they're better than they were last year, but so are the Knicks. And the difference is, I'm knocking on all the wood here, the Knicks are healthy right now. And you got a chance. And that's all you could ask for as a Knick. It's opened up. Take advantage. It wasn't maybe supposed to be this year, but you know what? Why not? You're this close. You're the favorites in the conference finals. You have home court advantage. If Denver somehow beats OKC tomorrow, the Knicks would actually have home court in the NBA Finals. It is all right there for them. And we'll have more time to preview Indiana and that series on this show than on my radio shows this week. But, man, the Knick fan deserves this. I know so much of my audience are obviously Jet fans, but also Knick fans. The Knick fan deserves it because here's what people fail to realize. I've seen a lot of this. Oh, Knick fans going crazy like they won the championship, celebrating a second-round playoff series. They don't get it. They don't get it. In New York, the Knicks are the only team that can unite the entire city, the tri-state area. The only team. The Nets represent 5% of the fan base in the area. The Knicks had 95%, and we're the biggest city in the world. Think about that. And the history of the Knicks that dates back to 1946. That's why it's different with the Knicks. For every Yankee fan, you're going to find Met fans. There's Jets and Giant fans. There's 3 hockey teams. There's only 1 true basketball team. And for anyone who's really 35 and under, this is the best it's been. You've had nothing. You had 1 year of Carmelo losing in the second round. You had Linsanity for a little bit. This run, the Jalen Brunson era, this is the best it's ever been. You haven't seen this. The Knick fan around my age and younger has not seen this. We don't remember 2000. I don't. I was alive, but I don't remember it. My earliest Knick memories are getting swept by the Nets in 2004. Isaiah Thomas, Eddie Curry. My favorite Knick as a kid was David Lee. I looked up the date today of that tip-in he had with 0.3 seconds to go, or 0.1 seconds to go. December of 2006. Like, I have been a diehard Knick fan for a long time. And all we've had is just pain, disappointment, never moving up in the lottery, getting clowned on by everyone. All these different coaches and GMs, Phil Jackson, Ronaldo Balkman, Andre Bargnani trying to somehow justify that trade. I mean, Lou Munson, Ron Baker, Tim Hardaway twice. I mean, I could keep going, but any real Knick fan knows what I'm talking about. That's why New York is going crazy. That's why this fan base is giddy, because we have waited. We have not seen this. And if you were around for those great 90s teams, think about how long ago that was already. Every time you go to a Knick game and they show a previous Knick alum, they're showing all the guys from either the 70 championship teams, Bernard King in the 80s, or they're showing Starks and Ewing and Sprewell and LJ. These are the guys they're showing, because there's a huge gap outside of a couple years of Carmelo where it has just been all bad. That's why the Knick fan is so passionate and celebrating, because this is the best many of us have seen. And it's that one team that unites everybody. And basketball is huge in New York. Huge. There's a basketball court everywhere. That's the thing that people don't understand outside of this area. It's not just that they advanced past the second round. It's all the history. It's the fact that the Knicks play in the biggest city in the world, and it's the only team that could actually get the entire city to root for the same thing. If you're in Boston, everyone roots for the Celtics. Everyone roots for the Patriots. Everyone roots for the Bruins. Right? Everyone roots for the same teams. That's it. Everyone roots for those teams. Red Sox. There's not another baseball team in Boston. If you're in Philly, everyone roots for the Phillies. Everyone roots for the Eagles or the Flyers or the 76ers. And Joel Embiid has still never been to a conference finals. And Karl Anthony Towns has now been to one in each conference. I'd like to point out. But the point is, these other huge cities, right? Philly's a huge city. Boston's a huge city. These are great sports cities. Passionate fans. Those are the only options. We have 2 of everything here. 3 hockey teams. We got 2 soccer teams. It's different. And the thing that people don't realize, and it has drove me crazy when I see fans of other teams be like, oh, Knicks fans go crazy celebrating. They beat Boston. Boston Celtics. F Boston. All right? No New Yorker likes Boston. They are also the defending champs. And the narrative was coming in, and not just to this series, but every series is the Knicks are not good. They're fake good. They're not good enough to beat any good team. So miss me with the, Knicks fans are too excited. Let us be fans, man. All right? The moral police out there, suck it. Let people be excited. All right? Let people be happy. As long as the Knicks themselves don't think they won the championship, which if you watch the press conference last night, they don't. If you listen to Tom Thibodeau or you listen to Jalen Brunson or Mikal Bridges or Karl Anthony Towns or Josh Hart, they know there's still work to be done. They know they still got to win 8 more games. We're halfway home. But the fan base gets to enjoy because guess what? The fan base was here before any of those players or coaches I just mentioned, and we will be here after any of those players or coaches I've mentioned. That's what people don't understand. This is a fan base that is starving. Right? Starving. And they are on the precipice of having a legitimate opportunity to do something that has not been done by a Knicks team since 1973. It was an out-of-body experience being there last night. I enjoyed every second of it. It was never a doubt. Never a doubt. And that is special for anyone who has lived and died watching this team who doesn't remember those great 90s teams that ultimately didn't win. They came up short, and they're beloved. And when they say, if you win in New York, there is no better place, this is what we're talking about. When they say, when you win in New York, there's no better place, this is what we're talking about. Is it hard to play in New York? Does it take someone with the right mentality who can handle it? Absolutely. Can this place be really, really hard if you suck? 100%. But if you win here, there's no better place. Let's go Knicks. Comments, questions, super chats, cut the line. Impromptu Saturday show. I didn't think I'd do one today, but I'm too fired up after a night of celebrating the Knicks and being out all day. People rocking Knick gear everywhere today in the city, which is so much fun. I had to do something. So we gave you some Jets. We gave you plenty of Knicks. And on Monday, we're giving you a raffle where you have a chance to win a signed Jalen Brunson jersey. Every membership you get or super chat equivalent is +5. I got to be fair because we did it yesterday. I thought it'd be the last show. This is actually the last show till Monday. So give people one last chance to get in the raffle. And we're all feeling good about our Knicks. Brunson jersey, Glenn jersey, Curtis Martin jersey, CJ Mosley jersey, our top 4 prizes in this week's raffle. Marcus Clark gifted a membership +5. Marcus, thank you very much. Jets Worldwide writing in LFGK. Let's effing go Knicks in the raffle for normally 5. But now it is 10 courtesy of a membership boost. Super chat from, how about this? JYB. Let's freaking go. Bang! Bang! JYB, you kidding me? Let's go. Let's go, Knicks. Guys, hit the like for Jake. He's the man and always has the best content. Support him. JYB, I can't say enough good things about you, my friend. And JYB won an Aaron Glenn shirt on the show twice this week. So instead of sending him a shirt with the AGHC brand that we have at jakeasman.com, logo, design, whatever you want to call it, we're sending him a hoodie now. So he's got both. So shout out to you, JYB. Hopefully the Jets give us some moments like what the Knicks have done. Henny in the house. It kills them to give the Knicks any credit. Yeah, I mean, it really does pain these people because they don't want to be wrong. They can't admit that maybe we were wrong. Maybe we were wrong. Now, I will say this. I don't think it's I don't think it's right to, grab a camera, run up to Brian Windhorst and scream in his face. I would say that's not good. That's not cool. But, I mean, I understand where the Knicks fans coming from. I do. Devin has gifted 1 membership. Devin has gifted 2 memberships, plus 5 on each for the raffle. Henny in the house. Super chat. KG said Knicks fans have it like a soccer arena. The guard, there's no better place for a game when the Knicks are good. It's everything people say. Now, I still maintain, believe it or not, folks, I've been at every Knicks playoff game the last 2 years. And I can tell you, the best atmosphere I have ever been in for any sporting event is still Aaron Rodgers' home debut in 2023. I swear to you, MetLife was just a different level that night. But, man, last night was pretty close. I think it's just numbers, right? There's just more people at MetLife than the 18,000 or so that I think can fit at MSG. But, like, as far as arena goes, like where there's no, outdoor setting, it's the Garden, man. It's just – and last night in particular, there was no, like, nervous energy, right? Because the Knicks actually did something that they have failed to do in pretty much all these games. They got off to an incredible start, right? And then maybe there's a little like, okay, like we're up 27 at halftime last night. Let's see how the third goes, because we know the third quarter was a major issue for the Knicks in the regular season. It was a major issue for the Knicks in the Pistons series. It was a major issue for the Knicks in Game 5 in Beantown, and they came out and stuck it to the Celtics. Like, there was never a moment where you're like, oh, God, here we go. And, like, I never thought the Knicks were going to lose when they were up 27 deep down, but I wasn't going to sit here and, like, gloat, and pull receipts on Dave Portnoy and all the other, a-holes out there who couldn't wait to run their mouth. But once Jaylen Brown fouled out with 2 minutes to go in the third, I mean, at that point, done. It was already over well before that, but, like, done then. JJ, Super Chat, Bobby Midnight, 24-hour stream is now live. I just introduced my wife to Bobby. Tune in after Jake's show. Hey, JJ, here's the problem with introducing your wife to Bobby. All I'm going to say is, watch out.
Calm your freaky down.
Because we know how Bobby be. John is gifted a membership. Thank you, John. Plus 5. The great Rick Kent, who's fired up about his Knicks. He's in the raffle for 10 by sending in a $5 membership. PBM in the house. What's up, Mike? How we feeling about the Knicks? Plus 5 for PBM as well. All right. I will open it up to your comments and questions. Let's see. Tyrone, I don't know if I got to your super chat. Did I? I hope the Jets could do what the Knicks could do. Thanks for the show, Jake. Next week starts the Eastern Finals. Jet fans will go more crazy if they make it to the Super Bowl or a playoff win. I'll tell you what, that feeling of the Jets just making the playoffs, like, because that's what it was like for the Knicks if people don't remember. The Knicks, this run really started when COVID was still a thing, right? We were just coming out of COVID. It was the 2020-2021 season. You weren't even allowed to fully attend games yet. It was limited capacity. And the Knicks made the playoffs for the first time in 8 years. And what fans from other teams don't remember is that the Knicks beat the Hawks in Game 2 of that year, right? It was the only game they won in that series. They lost in 5. And the fans took to the streets and celebrated like they won a champion because it had been 8 years since they made the playoff. And this, once again, what people don't realize is New York is the biggest city in the world, and this is the only team that can unite people. And basketball is a part of the culture here. It is ingrained in us. That's what people fail to understand. And last night, it's also Boston, too. And they're the defending champs. And Knicks fans, all we heard from everyone was you had no chance. But the Jets make the playoffs one day? Oh, my God. Do I live to do that post-game show that day? Unreal. Fernando with a super chat. I can't wait to see everyone in Tampa for the Jets game. Let's go, Knicks. We'll be winning in 5. Tampa Jets meetup, folks. Join the Patreon if you want information. As soon as I get official stuff, I will post it. Patreon.com/Jake Asman Show. And for any of my fellow Knicks fans, if you want to watch the games in Indiana with me when the Knicks play the Pacers, I will look to host another watch party for Knicks fans, Asmaniac Knicks fans who want to hang out and watch the game. All right, let's get to your calls, shall we? First up today on the Gustbuster Umbrella Hotline is a man who might be more fired up than anyone who was out on 7th Avenue last night. Ladies and gentlemen, it is time to say hello to the King.
He's the king.
Let's go, King.
Jake, my brother! Jake, my brother! What? Hold on. Jake, Jake.
King.
I got so much to say, Jake. Let me just start with the Jets, okay? Let me just say this, all right? Adam Schefter, we know, okay? We know what we have at quarterback, son, all right? We know, all right? We know what we have. Let us just work through it. Let the coaching staff develop and let the coaching staff do what they got to do to make us get back into the prime time. We know what we got as a team, son, okay? We know that, all right? Let's just make it play out, all right? Let's just let it play out. Let the coaching staff develop these players, and we're gonna do what we do. But we all know what we came here for. See, this is what I want to talk about. All right? Because all of the sweet talk has died down. Huh? Jake, I'm so excited. I'm going crazy. Jake, hold on. All of the sweet talk has died down. Okay? Let's talk about it. All right? No. All you sucker duck, fuck ass Boston sucker duck bums want to talk about y'all was hurt. I see a report today, just today. Oh, Jaylen Brown might have had a torn meniscus. Excuse me? A torn meniscus? Oh, this is what we doing. Oh, Paul Pierce sucker duck. Punk ass gonna say we played some hurt Celtics. Oh, was that the case? Was you hurt the first 4 games when you was talking about that sweet shit? Huh? Was you talking then? Was you talking you was hurt then? I don't want to hear nothing about no damn Boston was hurt. Hey, Wimby, don't you ever walk the city of New York by yourself, you bum. You better go out there and get some more Zempic, and you better run for your life, son. At the end of the day, we ain't playing with you. Talking about, I think I agree with Will Bond. I think the series is defined by Game 3. If they lose Game 3, the Knicks might be, shut your sucker duck ass up. It's the Knicks, bitch. The Knicks in 6. What is you talking about? Huh? I don't want to hear none of that shit. You can mess me with that shit. It's the fucking New York fucking Knicks. Don't tell me nothing. And let me say this. Because, see, a lot of y'all still out there don't believe. Okay? Let me say this to you sucker duck fucks. All right? At the end of the day, we already passed the test. Boston was the test. Okay? We still got work to do. But at the end of the day, as a Knicks fan, the Knicks fans know Boston was the test. We can beat anybody in the damn NBA. Anybody. I don't give a damn who it is. Shea Gilgert, I don't give a damn. The Joker, I don't care. The New York Knicks, the Mecca. It's the Mecca of basketball. Don't tell me different. All right? At the end of the day, baby, it's the Knicks. Fuck they talking about? Ain't no Brooklyn Nets. Shut your ass up about them picks, Gary. We don't give a damn. Fuck they talking about, Jake? It's the New York Knicks. JTS. Just.
He's the king.
King Lowski might not make it if the Knicks win a championship. I'd be worried about him having some sort of heart attack. He is a legend. Unreal. And seriously, New York City is going to need the National Guard if the Knicks just get to the finals, based on what I saw last night. Unreal. And once again, these are just the videos I had. And these were all over. Like I woke up to a DM from Bleacher Report asking for permission. ESPN used this, the score. Like I've been tagged by all these different things. These are just my videos. I had even more. I didn't have service outside the guard. It was tough to even get these to send. It was just unreal, man. And I explained the context. Why the Knicks fan is this excited. Why we're acting this way. It's a combination of a lot over the last 25 years. And it's Boston. And it's what everyone said about the Knicks all season. And it's the fact that for most people in these videos here, what's the average age? Under 30, right? They don't know what it's like when the Knicks were good. Best these people have seen is Melo in 2013, 54 wins. The Brunson teams these last couple of years, right? Making the playoffs for the last 5 years. That's the best it's been for us as Knicks fans. In my lifetime, it is. Right? I don't have the 90s. I was alive. I was too young. I don't have that. I wish I did. If you're 35 or under, you don't have the Ewing teams. You don't. And that's what people fail to realize. Altoona sandwich in the house. I'm here to drink all of Portnoy and Simmons tears. Go Knicks.
Say go New York, go New York, go! Go New York, go New York, go!
Henny in the house. The king is back. Hell yeah. If you're just tuning in late, last show till raffle on Monday, all memberships are +5. For this one show only, we're giving away 4 prizes Monday. Mosley jersey, Martin jersey, Glenn jersey, Jalen Brunson jersey, all signed and authenticated. More of your calls right now on the Gusbuster Umbrella Hotline is one of our favorites. Ladies and gentlemen, it is time for all of you to sing along.
I'm just hoping one of these days that Lowski could find his passion.
You're right. I'm very concerned.
Note the blue today. It's usually green. Nick Blue today.
Let's go.
I didn't see what Simmons has to say yet. I'm going to probably go in and watch the video in a little bit. I didn't find Portnoy to be particularly gracious. This is just makes it even sweeter to have all these Sullys up in arms about this loss. Too bad. I'm sorry.
Boo-hoo. Boston didn't get to win another title. Oh,
as far as I can tell, the Pacers didn't extend the series last year to 9 games because we were all beat up. That's not the way it works.
Yep.
So if you had told us going in that, Holiday and White would be 4 for 19 from the field, and that Pritchard would have 11 points in 27 minutes, and that Jaylen Brown would have 7 turnovers and would foul out in the third quarter, you'd say, well, the Knicks are going to win by 35 points. And guess what happened? The Knicks won by 35 points. So, it's in there. It's in there for them. They can do this. This is their best chance, because I was there in '94, living in the city, going out every night with the Knicks and Rangers. It almost killed me.
Yep.
And they had a good team there. They had a shot to beat Olajuwon and the Rockets back in '94. Olajuwon's just better. And then in '99, we were just lucky to be there.
100%.
Ewing was hurt. We limped in. We had some good players on that team. If we had a healthy Ewing, maybe it might have been different. Maybe not. But this is a good opportunity. This is a good opportunity to go and win it all, because they're the favorites in this series. I think it's going to be Knicks in 6, and then you're in the NBA Finals, and anything could happen. There are some tough teams out west. Let's roll out the basketballs and see what happens.
You have a chance. And you bring up 99. I said it earlier. This is the Knicks, legitimately their best chance to a title since the 94 team, because 99, they were lucky to be there, right? It was just, hey, you got to the finals. You're playing a budding dynasty, as it turns out. They never had a shot. It's right there for them. They're the favorites, as you bring up, to win this series. And look, I think the Thunder are going to win tomorrow, especially if Aaron Gordon can't play for Denver. That's a huge loss, because he's so clutch and great in these big games. But if somehow Denver wins, they still have the best player on the floor, I believe, in Jokic. Then the Knicks in the NBA Finals, no matter who they play, whether it be Denver or Minnesota, would actually have home court. So it's all right there for the Knicks. They have a shot. They really do.
It's very exciting. Thanks for your time as ever, Jake.
Kyle, appreciate you holding and making the call. I love it, man. I love it. To all the Jet Knick fans out there, enjoy this, because God, do we deserve it. Indy Jets. He's a Pacers fan, but we appreciate his support. Anyway, +5 for Indy. Good luck to your Pacers, Indy. Here's what I want, right? If Indiana beats the Knicks, I could see it happening. I think Indiana's really good. But I don't want Indiana to beat the Knicks, because the Knicks don't have healthy bodies. Because I believe the Knicks would have won them 5 last year. They just had Anunoby, but he got hurt after game 2, and they were done. Done. Not to mention everything else that happened after that. I just want, let's have both teams be healthy. No Tatum injury to any of these players on either the Knicks or the Celtics, and let's see. We'll take our shot.
Hey, go New York, go New York, go! Go New York, go New York, go!
Indy's memberships went to Mad Team, 3 parents, James Fitzpatrick, Carlos Piscoria, Mr. Oskimski, and Craig Jones. So congrats to everyone who just got a membership. Remember, it's +5 till the end of this show. From Indy Jets, we say hello to JJ, who's next. Hello, JJ.
Yeah. What's going on, my friends? How you
up,
doing,
JJ?
Mr. Jacob? I'm very happy because my Mets beat your Yankees today. Hopefully we win tomorrow as well.
I think I'm going tomorrow. Rubber match.
I wanted to go tomorrow, but the game's at 7, and I work, so that's disappointing. Well, I work 4 to 8, so.
Oh, yeah, you're actually working tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm working.
I thought
So
you
I'm
meant
like,
you work Monday. I'm like, yeah, like everyone else.
Oh no. Yeah. If that was the case, I would definitely be there. But I'm gonna go in July when we play them in July, so that's exciting. Quick thoughts: Bobby doing a 24-hour stream. I don't think he's gonna make it through the whole stream, so I'm excited to see Bobby. I think you're gonna time out at about 16 hours. That's my prediction. He might be timed out now.
Do you think Bobby even knows he's on the air? Probably not.
I think he's sleeping. Bobby.
Look at those eyes. Bobby, you're not making it through 24 hours. It's not going to happen. Are you wearing a diaper, Bob?
I know, because my eyelashes grow into my eyelid. I am going 20.
The Bobby delay. Yeah, he's responding to things from 5 minutes ago already. So, Bobby, when you see this, just figure out your delay issue. Continue, JJ.
Yeah, so my goal is if Bobby starts to fall asleep, if I leave now, I can make it to Vermont in 5 hours with a blowtorch horn, whatever those, and I can wake Bobby up to make sure that he finishes. I know this is a Knicks show. Today is all about the Knicks. I'm a Nets fan, but I'm only a Nets fan because I'm a Jets fan. I'm a Mets fan, so I just chose the Nets because it just rhymes. and they're in Brooklyn. I'm from Queens, but I'm happy to see the Knicks flourishing. I actually want to see them go to the finals because there's a different energy in New York. Everyone always says when the Knicks do good, there's something different in New York going on, and I'm seeing it. I remember it a little bit as a kid with Jeremy Lin. Lynn Sanity, but question to you: do you think that Jalen Brunson is the GOAT of Knicks? I think you got to give it to him already.
The best Knicks player ever?
Yeah.
No, come on, man. Clyde Frazier, Willis Reed, Patrick Ewing. Brunson can join. Brunson can join the top 4. He might already be there. Honestly,
if he wins a ring, he automatically becomes the GOAT of Knicks.
He's the best player of our lifetime, and anyone who wasn't old enough to watch Frazier. But I mean, dude.
Yeah, but that was a different. That was a different.
It doesn't matter though. It doesn't matter. Like it's like Walt Clyde Frazier to me is the greatest Knick of all time. And go look at his stat line. It's the greatest single Game 7 performance in the history of not just the NBA, professional sports. His Game 7 against the Lakers, the Willis Reed game. It should be the Walt Clyde Frazier game. Walt Clyde Frazier had like 35 points. Like 20. Like I'm gonna look up his. It's one of the greatest Game 7 performances in the history of sports. He won 2 championships, 7-time All-Star. It was a different era, yes, but Frazier, Reed, Ewing, and then Brunson is on his way to joining, and he will make a compelling argument if he wins a title, obviously. But we're talking about like rarefied air already for Jalen. He's in his 3rd year with the Knicks, and no, I can already tell you this. There will never be another Knick that wears the uniform number 11. I mean, Brunson's number will be in the rafters someday. Like that's already happening.
Let me tell you something, Jake, and this is going to sound disrespectful, and I don't mean it to, but I only know of Clyde Frazier because isn't he the guy from Just for Men commercials? That's all I know of. I'm too young. I wasn't there. I didn't see it. So, my generation, that's how we are. We think LeBron is the GOAT. I'm sorry. We didn't watch Jordan.
You got to know the history a little bit. I mean, Walt Frazier, Willis Reed, Patrick Ewing. Like that's
the only history of him that I know is that if I have gray hair, he'll help me turn it back black. But I'm sure
he's the Knick announcer too with Breen on MSG.
No, I know. I'm just being annoying so all the people in the comments can have more reasons to hate me. But no, I'm excited for the Knicks. I think if Jalen Brunson wins a championship, he's just gonna they're gonna be movies made about him.
He's already Mount Rushmore Knick if he wins a championship. I mean, but it's gonna be tough for him to pass Walt. Game 7, by the way, Walt Frazier, 36 points, 19 assists.
And who they play that
the Lakers. The Lakers. 36.
No, I don't know. I really don't know. I'm asking because I really don't know. I don't even think I was a sperm cell in my dad at that point.
Have you heard of the Willis Reed game? Like when an athlete
I've heard of
injured?
It. I've heard people say Willis Reed game, but I don't know. YouTube doesn't even have those videos, and if they do, they're in black and white somewhere.
So go Google or go on YouTube right now. You'll hear the famous, Marv Albert call on radio then of "Here comes Willis." Like that's an iconic moment in not just Knick history, sports history, but everyone refers to it as the Willis Reed game because he came out. No one thought he was going to play because he was supposed to be done for the series. Hit the first 2 buckets. He finished with 4 points. It was the Walt Frazier game, and you can watch the game on YouTube. I've seen the whole game before.
I'm gonna look it up. You want to know something funny? Rick Kent said in the chat, he's like JJ showing his ignorance of Knicks history, and I'm like, yes, I that was the first thing I said. I'm not a Knicks fan. I'm a Nets fan. I don't know nothing about the Knicks, so I am ignorant on the subject. But like I said, I want to see them win because there's an electricity in the city right now, so I'm excited. I just can't wait to see what it's going to be like when our Jets are doing this well, like the fandemonium that's going to happen. I don't think it's going to match the level of what's going on with the Knicks because obviously, the Jets, there's more Giants fans than Jets fans. The Knicks are the premier basketball team. I think the Knicks are the premier sports team in New York, just in period.
Just numbers wise, that was the point I was trying to make because, like, with respect to you as a Net fan, we're talking about what 5% of the tri-state. Everyone's a Knicks fan. You can't say that about any other team. There's Yankees and Mets fans, Jets and Giants fans, 3 hockey teams. The Knicks are the only team that can unify everyone. People love basketball. It's in the culture of New York. Like that. That's the that's what people fail to understand here. Like in other sports cities like Boston, Philly, Dallas, Houston, there's one team, man. You don't have 2 baseball teams, 2 basketball, 2 football, right? Like it's not like that elsewhere. Like that's what people don't understand. That's why the Knick fan is different and that buzz you talk about, because everyone's on the same side for once. There's no divide.
No, yeah, for sure. Indy Jet said, "I don't believe in achievement." I do believe in achievement. I think Clyde Frazier has one of the greatest commercials of all time. Indy Jets fan, that's an achievement right there. A last point that I wanted to make to you, Jake. So I see you're starting to turn a new leaf. I didn't see this, but I randomly came across a video of yours from like a couple of days ago where you were going crazy on Jay Gruden for disrespecting our team.
Well, he
saying
said
we're
they were
gonna,
going to win 3 games or less. I think that's nuts.
yeah. But I see you turning the table a little bit. I think you're leaning more towards about like a little 9-8.
No, I'm at 6, man. I'm trying. 6 is me being positive.
But you before the season start, you said you could. I think you used to say you could smell the 4 wins from here.
I think they're a
So
4
now
to 6
you're
win
at
team
6.
right now.
That's 2. I just need to get you 3 more. I think we could get you 3 more by.
How many games do you think they're winning? 9?
No, I'm crazy. I'm telling you right now, we're going to the playoffs. We're winning 10 games this year. We can
Okay.
run the football.
I was
We
just
can
saying
run
you
the
better
football.
be higher than that because you're the one telling all of us that Justin Fields is going to be in the Jets Ring of Honor someday. So
Oh yeah,
you better be better than 9-8.
Justin Fields is going to go crazy this year. I'm telling you guys this. I haven't been this excited for a Jets season in so long. And you know, I used to go to the training camps. I'm still going to go, but I used to go to the training camps and I would watch the team and I would be super underwhelmed. But I wouldn't talk too much about it because I didn't want to get beat up because everybody was so excited about Aaron Rodgers. But if Justin Fields completes a pass, you're going to hear me talk about it during training camp. I'm calling in right from training camp. If he completes one pass, that's how excited I am. I have this football and I'm going to sign it myself and I'm going to put Justin Fields on it. And then one day I'm going to sell it for $1 million because he's going to win 2 Super Bowls for us. He's going to
It's like your bid is not even believable anymore. You don't believe this.
But no, I'm not even joking though. I really think we're going to the playoffs, and I think I think Justin Fields is gonna because look at all the potential he's had. I mean, this guy one season rushed for like 1,000 yards, and he had no talent on his team. He had probably one good receiver. Other than that, he had no talent. He had a defensive coach calling plays for him, in Eberflus. How do you say his name? Eberflus. And then before that, he did have Matt Nagy, so yes. But the point that I'm trying to make is we never really got to see Justin Fields flourish. We're finally going to see him flourish and be with a team who actually really wants him. I mean, the guy was 4-2 and he got benched in Pittsburgh, and then look what happened with them. He's going to go crazy, and I'm going to call in and I'm going to say, "I told you so. I told you so." When we win a Super Bowl, maybe next year, maybe 2 years from now, this is not a bit. This is serious stuff. I'm telling you guys. All right. So Jalen Brunson, yes, he's the greatest Nick of all time if he wins a ring. And I'm going to say it, man. Justin Fields, if he wins us a Super Bowl, he would be the greatest Jet quarterback of all time. But let's relax. Let's get to the playoffs first.
JJ, I gave you plenty of time to make your points, but unfortunately, I have to do this.
You get the fuck out.
All right. Let's go 9-8 first before we talk about Justin Fields being the best quarterback in Jets history, better than Joe Willie. All right. But I like the optimism. I just don't believe you actually think that. I mean, come on now. More of your calls right now. I'm shocked how many people are on hold here on a Saturday night. I figured I would do a quick 40-minute show, but you know what? I'll stay on longer. Why not? You get best fans in sports. PBM's up next. What's up, Mike?
Yo, I'm on my way to pick up my wife from the airport. That win yesterday was so good, dude. Oh, my God. I've been wearing Knicks stuff all day. I had my Knicks jersey when I was walking the dog. I'm not gonna wash that thing. I've worn it like 5 days in a row. I'm still not gonna wash it. I'm superstitious. So the only day I didn't wear it was game 5. So now I'm gonna wear it every single game. Hopefully it wills us to the championship. We're gonna win it, dude. This is our year. We've been waiting a long time for this, and now it's
I believe. I believe that the path is there. They got a chance.
Yeah, I never thought I'd see the Knicks blow out the Celtics. I've seen the Celtics blow out the Knicks, but I've never seen us blow them out. It was awesome. As Bart Scott once said, poetic justice. All them people talking shit, gonna get swept, the Knicks suck, they're not on our level, blah, blah, blah. Look who's laughing now. Fuck Boston.
Ladies and gentlemen, purple belt Mike.
You get the fuck out.
That was the Knicks message to the Celtics last night. And then there's video going around. I saw it in person last night outside the Garden. The Celtics team bus just getting it from the Knicks fans. outside MSG. It was euphoric last night. It was truly an out of body experience for me. These things don't happen to teams I root for. Right? Like I've seen, it's been rare, but I've seen my teams in the conference finals before. You know, I'm a diehard Yankees fan. I went to the World Series last year, but you know, I was a fan. You know, when the Yankees won in 2009, that's truly the only title I could say like I've experienced as a diehard fan. Like I remember the late 90s teams a little bit. I'm too young. Wasn't living and dying. But I don't ever have wins where it's that easy. Like, sure, if you're a fan of a team, you remember a blowout win your team. But in the playoffs, in the biggest game played at Madison Square Garden by a Knicks franchise this century, and that's not hyperbole, it is. They haven't clinched a series at home since 99. They haven't been in the conference finals since 2000. Last night was the biggest game at MSG in 25 years. And you could say, oh, well, they played Game 7 against Indiana in the second round last year, but the Knicks weren't healthy last year. They weren't healthy. And it was Indiana. It wasn't the defending champions. Unreal. Ladies and gentlemen, one of the greats is on the line right now. An esteemed member of the 4% female demo, a diehard Jet fan, and a diehard New York Knicks fan. Ladies and gentlemen, Jenergy's up next. Hello, Jenergy.
Jake! Go New York, go New York, go! Go New York, go New York, go! We are the New York Knicks. I've been playing that song all day.
Yeah!
I look for the video. Oh my gosh, I'm so grateful I was able to go to that Knicks Asmaniac meetup.
We're going to do more.
Oh my God, we have to. But Jake, I had to call in because that win was just so amazing. And so like, we've waited 25 years. The last time we were in the freaking playoffs, we ever made it this far, I was in high school. Like, I'm so freaking happy. Like, I can't even, New York is electric. We are so excited. And like, I'm so done with hearing about the Celtics. Did you see that stupid Paul Pierce video? He needs to cut it out. Cut it out. Like, your time is over.
Let him keep running his mouth because the opposite
Exactly.
continues to happen. It's like, you know, Allen continues to say the Knicks are going to lose this or that, and it's incredible to watch how wrong he is about everything every time.
All the time. Yeah. And I'm ready. Let's go. Bring on Halliburton. Let's go. Because we coming for that. We coming for you.
Let's go.
It's open. I'm so, oh my God. I can't wait. Like, I'm just so excited. Like, ah! And the other thing, I realized I'm over to at watch parties, Jake. Every time I go, I went to that KFC watch party, game 3. Beautiful day on the rooftop at the Ainsworth. Beautiful day. It was awful loss. Then I catch up with you at American Whiskey. We lost again. So I think I'm going to have to just stay home. I'm going to go outside. I got to live
You're
my
due.
life.
You're due. That's how I look at it. You're due.
Oh my gosh. Oh my God. For real. And I can't wait for that raffle, that Jalen Brunson jersey. I cannot
Let's go.
wait. I need it.
You got a chance. You're in for, I think, the most out of anyone.
I'm so ready for it. And
I'll tell you what, if you don't win, don't worry. Because as the Knicks now advancing means I will make sure the next raffle. So this is raffle, I think it's, let me see. This is raffle 26. Raffle 27 will also feature at least one of the prizes, something Knicks related to for all the Knicks fans.
Absolutely. I mean, from everybody, besides Brunson, of course, Captain Clutch, you had Bridges, you had Deuce, that block,
awesome.
block.
Awesome.
Beautiful. And you seeing that, like, the freaking arena must have gone wild. Like,
yeah, one of the loudest moments was the Deuce chase down block, and then Hart in transition, fouled and won. Garden going nuts. And then the Hart fighting for the loose ball after OG missed a 3. They got the rebound. Brunson missed a 3. They got the rebound. Hart wins that 50-50 ball, kicks at the Deuce in the corner, hits the 3. Place was just, it might have been OG in the corner, but whoever hit that 3 in the corner after Hart won the 50-50 ball, it was just insane.
OG in the corner was sweet. He was just going off, and freaking Hart is a warrior. You cannot tell me you go to Boston, they try and claw your eyes out. You go and make free throws and still try. Come on. Like, he's the heart of New York. wearing my favorite number 3 for John Starks.
The man.
Let's go,
The man.
babe.
He
Let's
is.
go.
He's the best. Jenergy, you're awesome. See you soon, all right?
All right.
Hold on. Finish that.
I said later, Asmaniacs.
Yep. Let's go. Jenergy, one of the greats. Peter Casher says the Knicks have graduated. They've learned. It's all been building for this, Peter. Right? Like the playoff disappointments, but still being excited because they were making progress, having a real coach. And I don't want to hear a damn thing about Tom Thibodeau anymore. The minutes police. Oh, the minutes police. Please. The Knicks are built for these games. They're conditioned for it. They actually play basketball. It's a novel concept. All these other teams are dealing with all these injuries. You can't try and safeguard injuries. Like, they happen. They happen. It's part of sports, unfortunately. And Thibodeau doesn't get enough credit. I thought the Knicks' game plan last night was awesome. That was the best they have played defensively all playoffs. They were not going to let Derek White beat them early. And there's no one out. The Celtics, they had nothing to turn to. Once Brown was good, but he was in foul trouble. Who was their second scorer last night? Who were they going to? Who was going to step up? Right? They were not going to get the same type of performance from Luke Cornett. Al Horford is old. Derek White was 3 of 11 last night. Drew Holiday hasn't looked good all playoffs. Who was going to come in and bail the Celtics out like what happened in Game 5? They didn't have it. And that's because the Knicks came out and set the tone with how they played defensively early. And offensively, Cat was the biggest key opening this game. Aggressive. You have Drew Holiday on you, who's what, 6'4"? And you're 7'1", Cat? Attack. And he did. That was a big moment for Karl Anthony Towns. He answered the bell last night. Ladies and gentlemen, before we bring on our next caller, I would like to highlight that Mikal Bridges last night played 30 minutes, was a plus 25, finished with 22 points, 3 assists, 4 rebounds, 1 steal, 2 blocks, 4 of 6 from 3, 9 of 15 from the floor. He was awesome, helping to lead the New York Knicks to the Eastern Conference Finals. With that said, we now say hello to
Joe Douglas should have been fired 2 days before he was hired.
You're on mute, Gary. We couldn't hear any of that.
I told you the Knicks were going to win by 30. You said,
You
what
did,
makes you think they're going to blow out? They're going to blow.
I'll give you credit. I didn't see it.
Oh, you did say that. Okay. I said they're going to win 112 to 80 or something like that.
Why are you
I
so
almost
mad?
got the score right, too.
I said you did. I said you did.
I thought you said you didn't. I thought you said you didn't.
You did.
Okay.
And I said,
Yeah.
I said, why would you think that, given the fact the Knicks haven't blown anyone out ever? But you know what? They did. It was awesome.
Because once they went on a run, that was going to be it. Because, like, if you're Boston, you go down 15, 16, you're down 3-2, you don't have your best player, that crowd's going crazy. It's just going to spiral downhill. And the next thing you know, it's 30. And that's exactly what happened. I saw that. I was surprised they won Game 5. But if Game 5 was at the Garden, the Knicks would have won it in 5. Yeah, they got hot and they won Game 5. Two, like, I understand the Walt Frazier argument. If you want to say Walt Frazier is the best Knick ever because he's got the 2 chips and he was the best player on the best Knicks run, okay. Patrick Ewing's the best Knick.
You could argue Ewing. You could argue
Ewing took a team. You look at the team that Frazier played with. He had Hall of Famers on that team. Patrick Ewing had Hubert Davis, John Starks, and Charles Oakley. Like, it's not the same thing. Walt Frazier drove a Maserati through the finals. Patrick Ewing pulled a John Deere tractor into the finals and almost won it. Like, I think because he played in the same era as Olajuwon, he gets underrated. The same way Clyde Drexler gets underrated. Patrick Ewing is one of the 10 best centers of all time. He was an anchor to a defense that revolutionized the NBA at that time and averaged 25 and 12 for 10 years. Like, Patrick Ewing is one of the top 10 centers of all time. Like,
you could argue he's the best Knick ever, but I think based on what I have heard from people who watched both, I think, and based on what I know about what Walt Frazier did in the best Game 7 performance of all time, I would lean Frazier.
You could say Frazier. I mean, like the argument, he won 2 championships. He was the best player on the best team. He had the Game 7. Yeah,
35 and 19 and 7 in a Game 7 against the Lakers, and the Knicks were big underdogs because Willis Reed obviously was seriously
Reed
injured.
had 4 points in that game, right?
Well, he came out and scored the
Two
first 2
shots in a row,
points,
and that
then
was it, yeah.
and it's like forgotten that Clyde Frazier had the greatest performance in the Game 7 ever in the NBA Finals.
Yeah, if Olajuwon doesn't come out of nowhere to block the 3-pointer in Game 6 against Starks, the Knicks win the championship in Houston against six. Like
Starks just hits a couple shots in Game 7, maybe
Game
they
7,
win too.
yeah. But that was Starks, though, right? Like I know you Knicks fans love Starks, and that's fine. He's a guy that played all out, so I understand why you like Starks.
Yeah, he was an undrafted player. He was like he's the John Starks to the Knicks is Wayne Corbett to the Jets.
Exactly. I get why you guys love him. I mean, he wasn't all that good, but that was Starks, though. He was going to be 10 for 12 or he was going to be 2 for 17. He just didn't know which one you were going to get that particular day. But
he wasn't all that good. He was a very good NBA player. He wasn't a superstar, but he was a very good player.
He was all right. He was a role player. He was a secondary
he made an all-star team. He won the 6th Man of the Year award. He was a very good player.
Starks won a 6th Man of the Year award?
I'm pretty sure John Starks was an NBA 6th Man of the Year award.
With Sprewell, or was this early in his career? Was this like when they got he was traded for Sprewell? Was this later when they got Houston and stuff when he came off the bench, or was it early in his tenure?
Yeah, he won the 6th year, 96, 97.
96, 97. So it was the Van Gundy years, not the Pat Riley years. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. No, that's I just wanted to call in and show you that there's no ill will. I have no ill will.
Are you happy for your dad? Your dad has got to be loving this.
I haven't gotten to talk to him today. To me, it was a foregone conclusion. I talked to him when I went up 3-1, and it was like it's a wrap. Let's hate him out. I'll call him in a little bit. I'm sure. Yeah, he's through the roof. I mean,
what was he saying when you were telling him that it was over? Did he agree, or he was like, "Hold your horses, son"?
Well, I didn't say it was over. I mean, it's like telling a pitcher you got no hitter through 8, and you got the bottom of the lineup up. You're good. It's like you're not going to say that, but like it's a foregone conclusion. At 3-1 with no Tatum, they're not winning that.
Well, it put the pressure on the Knicks to get it done, right? They had the leeway. They lost Game 5. All right. It was meant to be done at home. You haven't won the playoff series at home since 99. Let's go. Let's get it done.
And he didn't want to go to Game 7, but even if it went to 7, I still probably would have took the Knicks. I was saying that about Boston. Like, JB is a great player. He's a great scorer. But he doesn't create offense for others. He doesn't play make. Right? He's just kind of a guy that is explosive. He's an athlete. He can score his 30. But that's really it. And now there's nothing that's going to make that engine go. So unless you have a freak day like they did in Game 5 where everyone hits every shot, they're not going to beat the better teams without Tatum. And that's what happened in Game 6.
Look, it was a series that once Tatum went down and they were up 3-1 without Tatum for the next, seemingly 3 games potentially, the Knicks had to find a way to win one of them, period.
And they were going to. They were going to figure out a way to win one of them with Tatum. Like, they weren't going to lose 3 in a row, I don't think.
It doesn't change the fact that they were up 3-1 with Tatum playing. And it doesn't change the fact that no one gave the Knicks a chance, and it's one of the bigger upsets in recent NBA playoff history.
And they were down big in the second half of all those games.
They were down 20.
They won, in all of them.
They were down 14 in the Game 4.
14.
And they were down 20, obviously, in the first 2 games.
So they can beat you at will. So, like, I was not expecting the Knicks to win. I thought Boston in 5, maybe 6 if the Knicks playing really tough. But I didn't think it was going to even go 7. I just thought the Celtics would beat them. I said all season, Boston, OKC in the finals. And now I don't know. I mean, this year, who had the Knicks, the Pacers, and the Timberwolves in the conference finals? Who had that on their bingo card? I have no clue.
Apparently, the WWE, because last year they had Brunson and Halliburton as part of one of the wrestling promotions of the Garden after they played in the second round last year. So now that clip is being resurfaced everywhere.
It would be intriguing if the Timberwolves and the Knicks, who made that big offseason trade, played each other in the finals. That would be intriguing. If DiVincenzo and Randall played them.
It is a trade that has been a win-win for both sides.
Yeah, I still can't believe that Minnesota, like, if you would have told me those 3 teams are in the finals, Minnesota shocks me the most just because they had to go through the West. Like, I don't get Minnesota, like, but they keep winning. And people are picking them to win the championship now. So, I don't know. They have
the next face of the league. They have Anthony Edwards, so it starts with him.
If they play Denver has no matchup for Randall. Like, and neither does OKC. Like, OKC really doesn't have a matchup for Randall. Like, Minnesota and 3 siblings. Jay said this, and I was like, he said this before the playoffs started. He's like, if it's not OKC, it's Minnesota. Like, there's no way Minnesota's going to the finals. now they're probably the favorite to go to the finals.
Well, I
don't
didn't
know.
understand why people thought that Minnesota had no chance against the Lakers in the first place.
No, I thought the Lakers they had a chance. It was the next series against Golden State. I thought they had a chance against the Lakers.
I just think Anthony Davis is like he's eventually going to take the mantle from Jokic for best player in the league.
Anthony Edwards.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's 23. Yeah, I mean, his resume is already insane. The amount of stars that he's beaten in the playoffs the last 2 years.
You're right. I mean, he's the best young player. He's the best American player in the league right now, probably. Yeah, I mean, he's going to be the face of the league. I would think. He can get
he's got the personality for it too. Whereas like Jokic is the best player in the league, but he doesn't care. He doesn't want to be flashy, and he just like he wants to go back to his horses in the offseason and chill. Like, he has no interest in like being a big celebrity.
Amazing that he went drafted in the second round during a Taco Bell commercial, and then played one more year in Europe. Right, Mike Miller was on that team when Joker was a rookie. And Mike Miller said, I don't know who the big fat ugly guy is, but he's the best player on this team. It's not even close, right? Like, I don't know. The Joker story is wild. Second round pick, wasn't ready to play in the NBA, comes to the league, and now he's the best player in the league.
I'm glad you brought up the Taco Bell commercial because that's a real thing people forget. He literally, like, it was during a commercial. There wasn't even like a commissioner at the podium announcing it. It was such an afterthought in the second round.
And 3-time MVP. To me, I don't know. He's already on a short list of the top 3 or 4 centers of all time. Best player in basketball. Like,
and if they win tomorrow, it's going to be because he has a monster game if Aaron Gordon doesn't play.
Yeah. But you already know he's going to get 30, 20, and 10. If it's enough to, I don't know if it's going to be enough to win, but he's going to have a monster game. It's just the game slows down for him, and he controls the game. Like
it's like Brunson. The game slows down for these players when they're that good in the fourth.
But if I told you a big man was going to average a triple-double, you would have
guessed
it. You would have guessed it would be a guy like Noah, a freakish athlete. You wouldn't guess it's a big, fat, slow bear like Joker. Like, it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, he's incredible. Every time you watch Jokic, you have to be blown away by what he does and his size. Yeah. He's maybe the best passer I've ever seen by any big man ever. Like, I already think he has.
He's just one of the best passers I've ever. Like, you make a short list of passers, Kid, Magic, LeBron. He's just on that list of great passers. Like, he's definitely the best passing big man. And I was like, how many passers ever are better than him? Like, there's only a handful. He's a different player, and the game just slows down for him. He's just a different player.
100%. Well, this is a pretty good call, Gary. I don't think you pissed off too many people in the chat today, so that's good.
Wasn't my intention. It wasn't my intention. Congrats to your New York Knicks.
How about that? And Gary, would you say that you do respect women? Let's get it on the record.
I respect women. I love women. I've given my life to providing for and protecting for 2 women.
Ladies and gentlemen, there you have it.
Chicken with pasta is worse than peanut butter with sandwich.
All right, home stretch of our show. Let's say hello for the first time today to one of the greats. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time.
Holy crap, here comes Beastbreaker 666.
Why don't you get your fat ass on a treadmill and go the distance with me?
Is that Bobby Midnight?
I'm not into politics, and I already told you that.
I may be big, but I'm going to be bad enough to put you out.
Beastbreaker always has some salient points.
Great party last night. That was probably one of the best parties I ever seen. And boy, you were in the crowd very late last night, weren't you?
Oh yeah, Beast. I was.
That was now that right there, my friends, is a party. A party's party. Except where's all the food? Oh well, but fuck the food. We don't need the food. All we need is the people, the fireworks, and the good stuff. Now, can we get ready for some
baseball? If you were in New York last night, would you have been one of the people climbing up the pole?
Oh no! I wouldn't do that. That's against my interest. I don't climb poles. I leave that to the workers that do the power lines, the phone lines, and the internet line. That's how I do it. Now, I'm going to do a little Jalen Brunson here, a little 3 action. Let's pump that music one time, and let's kick it up. Go, New York, go, New York, go!
Go, New York, go! Go, New York, go, New York, go!
Switch!
Go, New York, go, New York, go! Go, New York, go, New York, go!
Hey, Beast, give us Carl Anthony Towns in the post dunking it last night.
Baby!
Well done, Beast. That's what the people needed on a victorious Saturday for all the Knicks. Some super chats here. Peter Castro. Mitch Robinson makes a big difference, massive difference. That's why Boston was trying to foul him to get him off the floor. The hack of Mitch. Mitchell Robinson, I don't know what he finished for the series plus minus wise, but it was the best on the Knicks by far. Last night, he was incredible. He was plus 20. That one defensive possession where he rotated as a 7'3" dude and guarded all 5 Celtics and forced the block steal on Brown, which led to the hard transition bucket for the N1, and the Garden crowd just went nuts. That was him. He makes a huge difference for the Knicks when he's out there. He does. I'm so glad he's healthy. He's the longest tenured player on the team. He was around for those 17-win seasons. So I'm happy, man, because the Knicks are very uniquely built. It feels like Brunson's a homegrown Knick, right? Because he didn't become the player he is until he got to the Knicks, right? He was a second-round pick of the Mavericks. He didn't play a whole lot his first couple of years in the league. Luka got hurt in the playoffs his final year in Dallas, and Brunson had to be the guy and kind of really showed what he could do. That was the first time Brunson became like, oh, this guy's pretty good. Like, wow, this guy was really good in the playoffs. And then he comes to the Knicks and just got better and better. And now he's Jalen Brunson, number 11. No Knicks ever going to wear that number. Right? Randall was a free agent because it all started when they signed Randall, and then Thibodeau got here, and Randall became an all-NBA player under Tom Thibodeau. That's where this all started, right? That first team that lost to the Hawks, where it was Randall, it was RJ, it was Derrick Rose at the end of his career. Right? But the Knicks weren't drafted or weren't built by, like, drafting, right? This is not like how the Warriors were built, where Curry, Thompson, and Draymond were drafted by them, like, or the Celtics with Tatum and Brown. You know, the Knicks were built with smart free agent signings and unbelievable trades. Josh Hart, that trade is one of the best trades in Knicks history. Do people even remember what the Knicks traded for Josh Hart? They traded Cam Reddish. Who? Now, what the Knicks have done well is they have drafted good enough players to then use them in trades, right? They got OG Anunoby because they were able to trade RJ, who was a good Knick, but he never lived up to the billing we thought he'd be as the third pick in the draft. He wasn't, you know, he was the third guy in a two-player draft. Now, we'll see what Zion ends up being. He can't stay on the court, and he eats too much. But, you know, him and Ja were the top 2 players. And the Knicks, of course, didn't get any lottery luck, and they were at 3. But he was good enough to use in a trade with Emmanuel Quickly, who I loved, but you used him to get OG. And a lot of Knicks fans maybe didn't like it at the time, but guess what? Leon Rose knows more than you. And the Knicks record since they acquired OG Anunoby is one of the best in the league. Right, so like the Knicks maybe haven't been built through the draft, but their success in drafting in some key spots has allowed them to make trades to put their team together, including the Mikal Bridges trade, having all these assets that they've been collecting, all these picks, F them picks now. You know, a great free agent signing in Dante DiVincenzo. Dante became a legend in this town after a year because of how good he was last year, how clutch he was, that shot he hit against the Sixers in game 2 of the first round to win that game. But they used him in the deal with Randall, obviously, to get Cat. Another really good trade. That's how they built it. Smart signings and trades. Boomtown says, Jacob, the Knicks lost a trade in the last 2 to 3 years. Clearly, they won the Bridges trade. Sorry, Gary, but that trade with the Raptors is also looking like dynamite now. Look, the Knicks really have not lost too many trades. And really, outside of like Leon Rose and Tom Thibodeau's second year, where they tried to sign Kemba Walker to fill the point guard issue. They signed Evan Fournier, who wasn't any good and was, a huge liability on defense. Most of the moves have worked. Right? Like, hire good people, let them do their job. No one's chanting sell the team at Dolan anymore. Now, the Knicks have been one of the better run teams in sports. That's how you get out of the abyss. Adam says, how about Caitlin Clark today? She's going to carry the league. You'll see a lot of Caitlin Clark. I'm sure she'll be at a bunch of the games in Indiana when the Knicks play the Pacers. She's unreal, though. She's awesome. And I'm glad she stuck it to Angel Reese's team as well. Rick Kent wants to know, is Beast's microphone even hooked up to anything? No, that's the best part. It's plugged into nothing. It's incredible. Super chat from the Kyle Clifton. Bridges was the third most important Knick in that series behind Brunson and Mitch. Gary could be right that the price was too high, but today the Knicks don't care. Look, relatively speaking, did the Knicks overpay? Sure, but the Knicks looked at it as the last piece to a team that can maybe win a championship. And guess what? They just beat the team that won the championship last year. And they don't do it unless they made that deal for Bridges. So, look, we'll find out what happens here, right? The Knicks are favorites to beat Indiana. I don't know if they will. But for the Knicks fan that's seen nothing in their lifetime, for many of us, or the people that you got to go back 30 years from the last time the Knicks were in the spot, I don't think you care about some first-round picks for guys that are in middle school right now. And by the way, the Knicks have all these guys under contract. They're going to be good. Unfortunately, the Celtics aren't a contender next year with Tatum out for all of next season. You look at the rest of the Eastern Conference, I mean, Detroit should be better, but the Knicks have proven they're a better team. Detroit's still building. They're young. Indiana's good, but we'll see how they match up here with the Knicks. You know, like Philly, I mean, anyone really believe in Joel Embiid staying healthy? I mean, they're a disaster. I mean, this could be the start of the Knicks having a couple chances at winning a title, you hope. +5 for Kyle. So normally 2 super chats with $10 for this final show, which is going to end shortly. So get the membership. If you want in, it's +5 for a chance to win the Brunson jersey on Monday, the Glenn jersey, the Martin jersey, and the CJ Mosley jersey. All right. A couple of your calls left here. Ladies and gentlemen, he is in the midst of what is a 24-hour stream on his channel. Many are saying he won't make it. I believe with those people. But he's going to try and prove them wrong. We head to Vermont, where Bob is standing by.
Hi, everybody. This is Bob from Vermont. I am Bob, of course. Jake, remember I told you about my eyelashes that grow into my eyelids?
No, I did not. I do not remember this conversation.
Did I ever tell you that?
No. Can you show us your eyelashes?
So that's why. Do you see that red? This side.
Get closer to your camera. I don't see. I need you to get closer.
Okay, hold on. Yeah, it's pretty bad. See.
Hold on. Get
Remember,
closer.
I told David T.
Get closer.
Come on, stop yelling at me.
You're too far away.
Don't yell at me.
You're not listening to me.
How's that? Better?
Get a little closer.
Oh, gee. Here. David T. right there. See?
Can you get a little closer? We can't see.
So I am going to do a 24-hour stream. I'm going to do my 24-hour stream. Trust me. It's just these eyes are messed up. And the Knicks played very good yesterday. They blew up Celtics.
Did they? I
and
didn't hear
my
this.
friend Todd Lown that came to my show and then said the Knicks suck. The Knicks suck. Mm-hmm. Yeah, my friend came to my show. Oh, the look. Well, I proved them wrong. Yeah, he got.
Man, this stream sounds so exciting.
So
You're going to tell us that your friend came to your show to say the Knicks suck. That's riveting.
You doing good, Jake?
Doing great, Bob.
Hey, you had great seats yesterday. I'm telling you.
Yeah, I was
you
sitting
have
next to
great
Ben
seats
Stiller.
yesterday compared to the other night.
Yeah, it was me, Ben Stiller, Timothy Chalamet.
No, you weren't that.
Spike,
You were
Stephon
up in the
Marbury,
stands. Come on, man.
Patrick Ewing.
And then the Yankees lost. And the Yankees lost yesterday.
Did they?
Today, I mean.
They did not lose yesterday. They won
so.
yesterday.
Yeah,
and
I know.
Soto
You
making
went
the
to
last
game.
out. They lost today.
Yesterday, they lost today. Yeah.
Yep. Now, what is the point of this 24-hour
Right, they
stream?
lost today, yes.
What are you getting out of this? How does this help you? Does this help you find the job?
What?
What is the purpose
Yeah, I'm
of the
doing it.
24-hour stream?
I don't know. Everybody wanted a 20-hour stream, so I said, let's do it. It's a
So
Saturday
if
night.
everybody
You know,
wanted if you to jump
party
off a
when you're
bridge, would
horny.
you do it?
No, not really.
Why are you so delayed, Bob? What is up with this? I don't like this.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, just wanted to. I'm happy. I don't know. I'm on my show. That's why I get two things going. I got thunder and lightning today. So
What's currently happening on your show
I
right
don't
now?
What?
What's currently happening on your show right now?
Huh?
Yep.
I don't know. They're talking. That's all I know. I had to
And
eat something. I
Are
had
you wearing a
little
diaper?
bit- I had a little turkey. What?
Are you wearing a diaper?
No diaper. No, I've been peeing a lot today.
Yeah.
This is about 4 drinks already.
So when it's 4 a.m. and you're still live, what is the plan?
Oh, that's why I'm in late. Okay, well, yeah.
Your eyes look terrible. Good Lord.
Yeah.
You look like crap.
I
I don't
don't
think you should
know.
do a 24-hour stream.
We'll go with the flow. That's what everybody said.
The Bobby Midnight Delay,
Go with
baby.
the
I
flow.
say something, he responds 5 minutes later. Is there anything better? I'll tell you what's better.
Okay, have a great day.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'll tell you what's better. I love you too, Bob. You and have a good 24-hour stream for whatever reason. From Bobby Midnight to today's closer, it's time.
You'll never get my chicken soup recipe. I'm not saying that Lowski takes steroids.
Give me some of it. Hey, Charles.
Who is that lovely lady?
Send it this way, Charles.
Hey, Jake, how are you?
Hello, Charles. What an angle here. You look hot.
Thank you. Yeah.
You're welcome.
I want to say to Paul Pierce, stop with the saltiness, okay? I don't want to hear that your star player had torn meniscus. Your player fouled out, so just grow up and take the L. I had a fun time at my friend's graduation party today. It was a nice time.
I'm happy to hear that you had a fun time.
Thank you, Jake. I really appreciate that.
It's my pleasure, Charles.
I'm glad you enjoyed the Knicks game last time. Glad you were part of the celebration last night.
I'm glad you shaved, Charles. It looks like you didn't miss any spots this time.
For now, yes.
It's good.
Oh yeah. I'm glad that we're being underestimated this year, so I think we can finally, succeed this year because the last 2 years, we were so amped up for a Super Bowl appearance, and we failed miserably. So maybe this year we'll actually do some good. Who the hell knows? I think the Knicks, though, are closer to winning a championship than the Jets, though, because of the experience, success the coach has had, not just with the Knicks, but with his entire career in the NBA so far.
I see, Charles.
So the Knicks are hosting the Pacers on Wednesday, if my memory serves me correctly. It's Wednesday.
If your research is correct, yes, your research is correct. Now, when you say research, did you just Google that?
No, when I meant say my memory, not my research, my memory.
Are
Because
you doing any research right now?
a little bit, yes. I'm looking up the Knicks right now. See, I know they won by like 38 points, which is ridiculous.
Now, Charles, let's get into something that apparently you did. If true, this is a very damning allegation. Addison, who is the co-host of the Bobby Midnight Show, says that you called into Bobby's show from the graduation party you were at today while you were taking a dump. Is this true?
Yes, and it was my ex. I tried to kill two birds with one stone. I wanted to say hello to Bobby. I had to go use the restroom. It happened, Jake, and it's my fault.
Do you have any shame, Charles?
A little bit.
It doesn't sound like you do. That is
I
a
do have-
grotesque act. How dare you disrespect Bobby, his show, his loyal audience by defecating on the air while you were at a graduation party.
I'm laughing at myself, Jake. I'm not laughing at the situation.
You're laughing at yourself. You should be ashamed of yourself.
I know I'm an idiot, Jake, and I have every right to be called an idiot.
Now, what was the idea to do that? Like, why did you think, man, why do I need to call in as I'm taking a dump? Why not, hey, call in after you're taking a dump?
Because I wanted to say hello to Bobby.
Right, but why did you need to do that while you were dumping? You couldn't just wait till after you finished?
Good point. You can stop with the fart noses, Jake, okay?
These are not me playing it. This is coming out of your anus. Now, I'm going to need someone to get me the tape of Charles doing this. So, someone please get that to me, and we'll break it down the only way we know how. But I mean, Charles, did you apologize to Bob?
Yes, of course I did.
Did he accept your apology?
I have no. Ask him.
I think you got to do right by him.
Well, he wanted me to do what I just did to him, to you.
But how come you didn't?
I didn't have to go.
Not because you don't respect me?
I do respect you, yes.
Right. But you were still going to do it? If you had to poop, you were going to do it, so you didn't learn your lesson? Is that what you're saying?
I just wanted to be funny to Bob. I just wanted to appease Bobby. He was saying, do it on Jake's show. I'm like, okay, Bobby, I'll do it.
Now, do you think this is funny, Charles? This is a very serious thing that you did.
No.
YouTube does not approve of defecation on any of their live streams. You could have put Bobby's channel in danger.
That's true, yes.
YouTube has an anti-defecation policy.
I know they do.
Like, I had to pre-approve these fart sounds by YouTube.
I need some of your mama's chicken soup.
Look, I'm sorry, Bobby. I was stupid in that moment. Please understand where I'm coming from. I mean, please take my forgiveness. Please forgive me for that moment. I'm sorry. I know you said 3 strikes in my mouth. That was my second strike. I apologize. Yes, I did wash my hands, Luppy. Why are we asking this question? No, I don't Venmo while I'm taking a dump, no. Charles, eat less beans. I'll try to keep that in mind. Don't shit where you eat. Charles shits where he eats. I don't shit and eat at the same time. That's disgusting. Damn right, Storm. Damn right, Beast.
Hey, that's a good quote. Hey, and did you know beans is a fruit, not a veggie?
I didn't know that, no.
It's been around for hundreds of years, and I like that quote. F the Celtics. Well, they get a grade of a I. You know what I stands for, right? Improvement. Needs a lot of improvement there.
Yeah.
And I
You
said,
get the fuck out.
Well, Charles, hopefully you've learned your lesson.
I hope so, too.
Now, how long was this phone call in total, by the way? Does it go on for a while?
I was on for a while. I just went on Bobby's show for a second time not too long ago. Then I stopped by your show.
Yeah, but the first time you went on while you were defecating, how long were you on?
A few minutes.
So you sat there on the air for longer than 5 minutes? Are we talking?
2 to 3 minutes.
2 to 3 minutes of you sitting there while fecal matter is coming out of your derriere.
I didn't show the fecal matter coming out of my derriere.
But you were sitting there and it was coming out.
Didn't we had a video of Gator taking a shower while he was on here?
I don't know what you're talking about.
I thought we had a video of when
And
Gator
even if
was on.
Gator did take a shower, which he might have, let's be real. There's a major difference between someone taking a shower and someone defecating live on the air. Answer the question.
Yes, there is a big difference.
All right. Well, Charles, I don't know how we're ever going to recover from this moment, but all we could do is try.
I'll recover. Don't worry.
You think so?
Yes.
All right. You have a good day, all right? Have a good night.
You too.
You'll never get my chicken soup recipe. I'm not saying that Lowski takes steroids.
Give me some of it. Hey, Charles.
Who is that lovely lady?
Send it this way, Charles.
What a moment, folks. You never know what's going to happen on this show. Or the Bobby show, for that matter. Mike Perez. This guy's a nasty son of a gun. Ellen. That was brutal. Indy. Charles needs to make better life choices. Jeff Worldwide. We need more poop calls. Marcus. Jake. Seriously, have some self-respect. Everardo. Defecate while in the shower, Charles. Zach. Charles poops in the shower. Rebecca. A long Gorman snake. Unbelievable. Apparently, you heard the water splash, according to Bill M. Rebecca, Charles, you need to wear diapers. Man. What a program. Let's go Knicks. F Boston. What a day it's been. Love all of you. Thanks to everyone who watched. A couple super chats at the buzzer here. I want to acknowledge Mike Perez. I'm confused. Is Beast a New Yorker that moved to Chicago or an Illinoisian that happens to root for New York teams? We need answers. Beast, can you give answers here?
I've been in New York. I was a New Yorker before it from 2009 to 2012, then moved to Jersey 2013 to 2019. Now, Mike Perez, you just got your answer. Case closed. Let's go out. It's Saturday night. Go out in the town and do something worthwhile. Go to a party or something. Go drink a beer or something. You know where the nearest bar is at. Go get yourself a beer.
Hey, Beast, case closed, but let's just say hypothetically there was more litigation needed. Who's your lawyer? Who are you calling?
I got Bonesy. I trust Bonesy because he's in good hands.
Are you an actual lawyer or what, man?
Yeah, I am a lawyer.
So you better call Bonesy. Ignore the shoes behind him. Those are law books. Those are law books.
Remarkable. What a show. Again, thank you all. Let's freaking go Knicks. We're back on Monday. But I'm live tomorrow on Mad Dog Sports Radio from noon to 4 p.m. Eastern time, talking about the Knicks, talking about the NFL, talking about the Game 7 we have tomorrow between the Thunder and the Nuggets. We'll I plan on doing at least 1 or 2 segments on the Subway Series. I'm going to try and go tomorrow night for the rubber match. Max Fried on the mound for the Yanks. So I'll cover that on radio for 4 hours. You can listen on the Sirius app, or if you have Sirius in your car, channel 82. With that said, thank you all for your support as always. One day the Jets will give us some moments like the Knicks have during this run. I believe it. I just don't know when, but I do believe it. Enjoy the rest of your Saturday. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. And again, go Jets, go Knicks, and go New York, go.
Say go New York, go New York, go.